Picture this. You're sitting in a conference room. The carpet is brown, not stylish brown. The kind of brown that hasn't been fashionable for 25 years. The coffee tastes like it's been sitting on the hot plate since breakfast. And across the table sits Arthur. Arthur is 62. 33 years ago, he started an industrial cooling business with one van, one technician, and a bank loan that kept him awake for months. Today, the company employs 42 people. They've repaired hospitals, food factories, pharmaceutical plants. Arthur knows every customer by name. He knows which engineer is about to retire, which supplier always delivers late, which client still hasn't paid invoice number 4728. But today, Arthur isn't talking about compressors. He's studying you because he has one question. If I hand you my life's work, what are you going to do with it? Most people think acquisitions happen in skyscrapers, Manhattan, Canary Wharf, glass boardrooms, billion-dollar negotiations. The reality is much quieter. Most acquisitions happen in rooms exactly like this one. And the people who become wealthy buying businesses don't usually win because they pay the highest price. They win because they understand something most buyers never do. They're not buying a company. They're inheriting someone's life. I'm Kai Coleman, partner at Argo Advisory. This is Argo Perspectives, where we explore the ideas, strategies, and decisions behind businesses. Today, how to buy a company without becoming the villain in someone else's story. You're not buying EBITDA. People love spreadsheets. I do too. But spreadsheets don't sell businesses. People do. Here's what inexperienced buyers miss. Arthur isn't selling because he suddenly dislikes making money. Usually, something changed. Maybe his children became doctors instead of engineers. Maybe his wife wants to travel. Maybe he had a health scare. Maybe he's simply tired. Running a business for 30 years is exhausting. 40 employees don't disappear when you go on holiday. Problems don't wait until Monday. Eventually, every founder reaches a moment where freedom becomes worth more than another year's profit. If you don't understand why they're selling, you'll never understand how to buy. Because founders don't just have financial equity, they have emotional equity. That's invisible on every balance sheet. Yet it influences every negotiation. I've seen founders accept lower offers because they believed the buyer would protect their employees. I've also seen them reject higher offers because they believed the buyer would dismantle everything they'd built. That's the first lesson. You're not negotiating against a spreadsheet. You're negotiating with someone's identity. So, let's assume you understand that. There's just one problem. You still haven't met Arthur. How do you actually find businesses like his? The hunt. This is where most buyers waste months. They'll scroll listing websites, call brokers, refresh marketplaces. Every listing promises a rare opportunity. Curiously, there always seems to be another rare opportunity next Tuesday. The reality, by the time a good company reaches an open marketplace, dozens of buyers have already looked at it. Competition pushes prices up, negotiating power disappears. Sometimes the best opportunities never reach the market at all. Instead, you build your own list. Industries you understand. Companies of the right size. Owners approaching retirement. No obvious succession plan. Then you reach out. Not with an AI-generated email. Not with a mass marketing campaign. A real letter. Explaining why their company caught your attention. Why you're interested and what you hope to build. Sounds old-fashioned? Exactly. Very few people do it. Which is precisely why it works. Eventually, one of these letters gets a reply. Arthur agrees to meet. The conversation goes well. He says he'd consider selling. Congratulations. And now the difficult part begins. Structuring the deal. Here's one of the biggest misconceptions about acquisitions. People think negotiation is about price. It isn't. It's about risk. Every acquisition contains uncertainty. Your job isn't to eliminate it. Your job is to decide who carries it. Take seller financing. Some buyers see it as cheap financing. I see it differently. It's a confidence test. If a founder truly believes the business will continue succeeding, are they willing to leave part of their own money invested? Sometimes the answer is no. That's useful information. Then there's the earnout. Every seller believes next year will be even better. Wonderful. Then let's both benefit if you're right. Rather than arguing about forecasts, tie part of the purchase price to future performance. Suddenly, everyone's incentives are aligned. And finally, working capital. Probably the least exciting phrase in M&A. Also one of the most important. Imagine buying a company on Friday. Monday morning arrives, inventory's gone. Receivables are uncollectible, suppliers haven't been paid, and cash has quietly disappeared. Congratulations, you didn't buy a business, you bought an empty shell. Small details protect big investments. Never forget that. But even a perfectly structured deal can't fix a fundamentally bad business. Which brings us to the hardest lesson, knowing when to walk away. Walking away. One of the most valuable skills in acquisitions isn't knowing when to buy, it's knowing when not to. We've walked away from more deals than we've completed, and we've never regretted it. If one customer represents 30% of revenue, that's not diversification, that's dependency. If only the founder knows the supplier relationships, you're buying yourself another full-time job. And if the accounts don't make sense, don't assume diligence will magically solve the mystery. It rarely does. Bad businesses usually don't collapse because of one dramatic event. They collapse because buyers ignored small warning signs. Hope is not due diligence. Discipline is. So let's go back to Arthur. Somewhere today, someone just like him is locking the office for the evening. He's wondering whether this is his final year, whether it's finally time, whether someone else is capable of carrying what took him 3 decades to build. If you're fortunate enough to sit across that table one day, remember this. Don't think like a buyer. Think like a steward. The best acquisitions aren't victories, they're handovers. When both sides agree on a deal, believing the company has a better future than either could have created alone. That's the kind of deal worth doing. Thank you for listening to Argo Perspectives. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know who's thinking about buying or selling a business. Until next time.